So we should be streaming. Go ahead and say something, Kim.
Alrighty, howdy, howdy, howdy.
All right. I think we're good.
Okie dokie.
There should be like a 30-second lag. So far, no drop frames. So there's that.
Hey, there we go.
All right. I think we are back. We are indeed back. All right, everybody. Sorry for that. A little bit of a hiccup. We'll just pick up. I'll do some merging. I'll do some magic, and we'll blend it all together. At least for the audio.
Like it never happened.
Like it never happened. Yeah. The video listeners, well, sorry. But yeah, we had some challenging tech. Okay. I think we left off, Mark, with you loving your internet connection and your computer right now. Is that still the case?
I'm loving my computer, but I don't know what's going on with my internet. I don't know if it's OBS or the internet or both. It's like I say, I've been playing. Mind you, I have been having problems streaming TV. I was about Star Trek earlier. I had to reboot the router, the Virgin Hub router, because that was stuttering like crazy, and then it was fine.
Do you think maybe the router is at the core of the problem?
It might be starting to fail, might it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking.
I might have to contact the dreaded customer services and see if they'll replace it. So, but that's a challenge in itself, talking to them people.
Yes.
Customer service, Jesus. It fills you with dread just thinking about contacting them, doesn't it?
Yeah, most customers, especially when you're trying to get equipment replaced, they're going to go through all of their, quote unquote tech checks, right? They're going to make you turn it on and off. They're going to, ask you a gazillion dumb questions. All in an effort
just follow scripts, don't they?
Yeah, and their effort is to not have to ship anything. They want it to be something that they don't have to deal with. But I think that's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah.
Or if you have a third-party router that you can use.
You can't with Virgin because it's not like a phone line coming in. It's fiber straight to the house. So gotcha. you need their router. But I've got that in modem mode. I don't use their router for Wi-Fi. I've got me on TP-Link Deco mesh system.
Right.
So I don't know. I've never had a problem before, and it's just recently started. So
yeah. Well, hey, maybe, just maybe, the swap out. Maybe just tell Virgin and just tell them actually maybe say and unplug it and just say no, it's totally not. It's not working at all.
Yeah.
When you call them, so this way when they check it, they're like, I see no power to it. Yeah, I don't think there's any power to it. Send me a new one.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Mark? You were talking about Star Trek.
Yeah. So I've started season 2. I've never got around to watching that. Season 3's out now, but I'm on season 2. Because I really enjoyed season 1. And it's back to the sort of like the early days of the Enterprise. So pre sort of like Picard and even pre-Kirk. I think it's pre-Kirk, isn't it? Yeah, because Kirk's on another ship and he's a lieutenant. He's not even a captain yet.
I've never been a big Trekkie guy. And I know that the Star Trek has come a long ways and it's really become quite good.
Yeah.
But I just never have been able, and you're either a Star Wars person or a Star Trek person. You're typically not one or the other.
Both.
You'd think I would have learned my lesson from Star Wars being so bad for most of this past decade, but
oh
well.
Yeah. The Captain Pike, the guy who plays it, he reminds me of you a lot.
Is that a good thing?
It just reminds me of you.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
All right. Well, I guess that leaves me. So I'll talk about the big thing that happened this past week, which was, in fact, my surgery. So on Wednesday, I went in for hernia surgery. So I discovered, I don't know, probably 2 months back that I had a hernia on the right side. When I went in for an ultrasound, the ultrasound tech, because they wanted to verify that in fact I had, a hernia. When I went in, she basically was like, well, usually they come in pairs. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, if you have it on one side, you're probably having it on the other side too, and you just don't know it. And she said, sure enough, you do. And it's like, okay. And then further examining within the ultrasound, she's like, you also have, one on your belly button. And I kind of knew I always had a little hernia spot on my belly button. I just didn't really know what it was. I kind of just figured it was maybe like a cyst or something. So needless to say, they fixed all three areas. And I mean, it was outpatient surgery. I went in, I think I went into OR around 10:15. And I will give Sutter Health some credit because I was anticipating a very old looking, for lack of a better way to put it, OR. But it was actually very high tech. They used robotics to do my surgery repair, which was kind of cool. And it was, very clean. Again, I don't know what I was expecting, but I just didn't in my head, because I've been around Sutter Hospital enough, like from the, different waiting room areas and stuff, it's not necessarily absolutely spotless clean. So I just, for some reason in my head, that was translating into the OR, but no, it was pristine. And, count back, they asked me a couple of questions as they were putting the gas onto me, and I was out. Next thing I knew, I woke up in recovery and couldn't tell you. I didn't dream about nothing. I was just out.
Right.
And so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera. I'll try and put it up close. So that's a picture of my stomach right after surgery. So you'll see there's the three little holes or dark spots. Those are actually holes that are been stitched over and glued. So there's a surgical glue on top of them. And then there's my belly button with the big bandage on it. And so I wasn't expecting the three holes. I thought I would be getting two. So I'm not sure what the third hole is from. But in essence, each of those holes represent an area where they went in from the top, and they use those robotic arms to then slide a mesh down. Because where my hernias were, if you looking back, you'll see my waistband there for my shorts. It's actually further down. It was actually in my groin area where the actual hernia was. So they go in very high up on your stomach and then push down into other parts of your body, which is just crazy to me. But it worked, I guess. And so, so now I am supposedly 6 to 8 weeks without lifting anything heavy. And anything heavy is nothing more than 10 pounds of weight. Now, I will say I likely will be breaking that rule often. I think they set that rule out to protect people, and they just really want to kind of scare you into not lifting anything. And granted, I am taking it easy as much as I can. I mean, there's just things I know I can lift without, they won't put any strain on my body, and that's fine.
Right.
The core is they don't want me activating my core. So whatever I can do to lessen straining my muscle, my muscles within my stomach area, that's the key.
Right.
But yeah, so the first couple days, it was tough. I think the hardest thing for me still is like getting up out of bed, because there's certain movements that obviously they just put strain on your stomach. And so what I tend to find myself having to do is literally kind of roll out of bed, not just figuratively, but literally rolling out of bed. And so, but beyond that, I believe September 8th is my follow-up appointment. At that point, they may give me clearance that I can go back into the pool. For now, I can't. They want me basically keeping the area clean as much as possible. Showers are okay, but you use like an antibacterial Hibiclene, I think is the soap that they recommended
Yep.
using. So I've been doing all of that, and yeah, just on the road to recovery at this point for that. Yesterday, I was feeling ambitious. I pretty much the day after surgery, I was up and walking and trying to just be active. And that they wanted that. They told me, they said, take your one day, get sleep and rest. But then after that, they wanted me up and moving just to prevent blood clots, that kind of thing. So yesterday, I realized mosquitoes are starting to pop up in our area. And so I was like, you know what? They seemed like they were getting prevalent. So I got out our insecticides and I went about spraying the entire exterior of the house, a lot of the foliage, that kind of thing, just to kind of push the mosquitoes away. I got to our front door, and I think there may have been like a nest or something that happened in our front door area, because there had to have been easily 100+ mosquitoes up in that whole area. And I start spraying and they're going crazy everywhere. I'm just like, holy shit. So I have now begun a campaign against mosquitoes. I bought a new zapper for the front of the house. We have one in the back of the house. So I will wage war on mosquitoes, because I hate mosquitoes. There's two insects I hate the most: mosquitoes and spiders. And spiders, probably unfairly, I hate, because honestly, they will catch mosquitoes and they catch other bugs that I don't like. But I just have that arachnophobia thing going on in my whole persona. So yeah, we do get black widows around here too. So just any sense of spider, I'm like, no, kill them all. And mosquitoes, same thing. I did do quite a bit of watching of television during my initial recovery times. I finished season 2 of The Night Agent. Quite liked it. It was pretty good.
It's not as good as first season, though, is it?
No. And that's the thing. I think video games and television kind of are different in that respect, because oftentimes sequels for television and entertainment more often than not fail, whereas in games, oftentimes the sequels we get for video games are often better visuals, better story writing. They had more money to put into the game from when they initially made it. So it's always kind of one of those funny things. But yeah, Night Agent season 2, not bad, not horrible. I also watched the series Butterfly on Amazon Prime. I really wanted to like that more than it was. It just was okay. And it started taking on that kind of B-tier budget television action drama, and the story kind of fell apart a little bit for me. So I was like, yeah, okay, it's just okay. But yeah, and also I watched Thunderbolts again. I didn't have that on my list. Thunderbolts.
Saw that last week.
It's just a fun, good movie. I really enjoyed that movie. It was a surprise for me how much I enjoyed that movie, because I kind of went into it thinking I wasn't going to like it as much as I did. But yeah. Sorry. So that's it for me for now. Let's dive into a community question. Kim, I believe we do have a community question with commentary from somebody associated to a moose.
Indeed. All right. From They Still Call Me Moose. What games are you hoping to finish before the wave of new releases this fall?
I think for me, squarely, it's Avowed. I'm close, but I feel like there's still. I mean, every time I think I'm getting close to finishing that game, then I realize, you're not that close. So I probably have a good 10 hours more still of that game to play, at least. Mark, what about you? Is it Dune?
Well, you can't finish Dune, and you can't finish Helldivers.
Right.
I've got GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 on the go, but they're early in the progress, so there's no way I'm getting them done.
Did you ever play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign?
Not yet, no. I've
Mhm.
just done Modern Warfare 2. I've just started Modern Warfare 3. So
Okay.
yeah, I've done that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm never going to finish out. I don't think at this rate. What else I've got ongoing? Dragon
I
Age, Veilguard. I haven't even gone back to that for months.
I will tell you now, Mark.
Yeah.
If Mafia Country, old country, goes on sale, I might just pull that for us, pull the trigger on that for us, because I was itching for like a good story based game,
Yeah.
because we've been doing a lot of multiplayer social engagement stuff. I mean, Helldivers 2, which we'll talk about in a minute. So yeah, Kim, what about you? Anything you are?
Well, basically right now I'm playing 2 games, and that's Helldivers and Baldur's Gate. So yeah, probably not, probably not gonna happen because I did just start my D&D character in Baldur's Gate. I just created it, so that will be another one. So so yeah, there probably won't be any finishing there, but that's okay. I mean, I'm used to that.
Fair enough. Okay.
So
Um,
yeah, let's see. You want me to read off some of these responses? I mean, to be fair, I've
yes,
only got
yes. Let's hear from the community. Did Kim freeze now?
Yeah.
here.
I thought it was
So,
me at first.
Yes. Yeah. Did I freeze?
The internet hates us
Yeah.
today.
Oh boy. Am I good?
We're good.
No.
You
All
go
right,
right
all right.
ahead, young
Yeah.
lady.
Alrighty. Corzon says No Man's Sky for him. He keeps getting sidetracked because he has to scan every single planet and moon on any system he's on. So he's probably not gonna get that one finished either. Let's see. And pretty much that's about it, because there's some that are really excited because of Helldivers and zombies and all that we're now doing a little more community stuff. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, from a zombie standpoint, I would like to actually finally get one of those zombie missions completed where we actually get evacuated.
Right.
That's a goal. So yeah, I could. That would be a finishing, not necessarily a finishing of the entire game, but just at least for once being able to survive one of those.
Right.
And I keep looking at Starfield. I will say Starfield might be on my finish list. I'm a good ways into the story, but now it's feeling a bit daunting to try and go back into Starfield. So
Right.
we'll see. We'll see if I ever try and pick that torch back up.
Alrighty.
All right. Let's just move right along. I know we're at the end of the month, but do we have next month's games at all? I did not look at this, so Kim, you tell me. I don't think we do.
No, I think we just have PlayStation, but I don't know what those are currently, so I'll have that updated next week.
Okay.
Yep.
On that note, then let's talk about the games we actually have been playing. Mark,
Yes.
I know we're going to have you talk about Dune first. We'll get that in
Right.
because I'm going to see if I can't pull up some actual footage while we're talking. So you go right ahead. Talk about Dune.
So, not done that much. Just done a little bit. Because another game's sort of like taken over this week. But just still pottering about, going into the deep desert and farming some spice. So I've got quite a bit of spice now. So I'm slowly progressing to building the sort of like the highest tier gear. So yeah, just farming in Dune really. So yeah, not been on it that much really. I need to get back into it. So
Okay.
and I think the server's
Nice.
been a bit quieter recently. So not to say the game's dying or anything. I hope not. Anyway, but yeah, I think another game's just like taking the spotlight a little bit, which we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. In fact, we can talk about that now. Let's transition over. So Helldivers 2 came out to Xbox. We jumped into it as a community. We have been playing this game quite a bit.
Yeah, since Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, since Tuesday. Now, granted, I didn't get as much time in as you guys did, just because midweek I didn't want to do anything. But Kim, impressions, thoughts, Helldivers 2.
I was a little bit bit scared of it because of the whole friendly fire thing, but honestly, I have not managed to kill anyone yet. I might have killed one or two, but I haven't wiped out the entire squad or anything. Boomer's still pissed because I dropped napalm on him, but I did tell him to move, even though he thought I was talking to the cat. So that's not my fault. Mark, on the other hand, did napalm him and Boomer both. I somehow made it through, somewhat unscathed. I think I had to stem up before I could get up and hurry my ass out of the way. But then Sarah, shot a hell bomb or set one off and then blew me up. So there was that.
Last night I was on with Gary, Defo, Sarah, and Jeff, I think. And there was like some bugs in front of us, and I was shooting the bugs. And unbeknownst to me, behind them was a hell bomb, and it killed everyone. It just took us all out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, were you on them, Kim? I can't remember.
Yeah. It was us. Because we didn't know what the hell happened at first. And then it was like, boom.
There was a hell bomb behind them. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, enjoying it so much. In fact, I bought a copy for Boomer so he could play. So yeah.
Okay.
Go figure. Yeah.
So I have been enjoying it as well. I will say a couple things for me that I needed to change because we've been using Discord for our voice chat within the game, which works perfectly because it's cross-platform. One thing, when you're using the Discord chat, you can have it visually display who's talking, which is useful, so you can discern people's voices and know who's saying what. However, it's an overlay on the screen. And one thing I did not realize is that Helldivers relies on D-pad prompts to call in certain different types of, I forgot what they're called. Stratagems, yes.
Yeah.
And so the D-pad, the first couple in particular, the one for basically get reinforcements was always getting covered up by our chat.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't see the prompts properly, so I could never call in reinforcements. That has now been rectified. That will make life a little easier. I will say,
Mr. Phil Olsen had the exact same thing this afternoon. I was on with Sarah and Phil.
Yeah.
Me and Sarah got killed, and Phil couldn't call us in. And he was running around getting chased by these stalker bugs and trying to do the stratagem. And he kept saying, "The bloody Discord's in the way. I can't do it." And he got killed. So,
shout out to Lewis in the chat, by the way. Yeah. So the stratagems being covered up, definitely problematic. So if you're using a voice chat system like Discord, just make sure you turn off the overlay. That's the best advice I can give you, because there's a lot of stuff that comes up on screen in this game, and so it's super helpful just to not have that overlay on. I will say visually, I'm not blown away.
Well, no.
I kind of thought it was going to be a little more visually impressive than it is. It's not bad looking. It's just not like Call of Duty, Battlefield level visuals, and that's fine. It is a dark game. That was the other thing that, I used their recommended settings at first, where they tell you to make the logo barely visible on the left side, and it just made it too dark. And I was kind of like, okay, so I lightened it up. That helped out a little bit, and made things a little more navigatable, if you will. That's not even a word.
Right.
But because I was struggling with the dark thing. Just like, okay, what are you guys seeing that I'm not seeing? And then I realized it was a little too dark.
a lot of the planets you visit as well, there's a lot of like fog and poor visibility anyway. So yeah.
But beyond that, I love the community aspect of the game. It is a lot of fun. Lewis, definitely, if you're down for Helldivers 2, I'm just saying it's worth the pickup. You might like it. And yes, I am okay. In fact, if you listen earlier into the show, I did talk about the surgery, Lewis, so you'll get the full gruesome details. But I definitely can see this as a game that we will continue to play and be part of. I was a little disappointed that the Halo ODST DLC is what they consider a legendary pack, and not something that's going to be, just because I picked up the deluxe war bond pack, or the deluxe edition that gave you 2 war bonds. I assumed
Right.
I'd be able to use one of those war bonds for the Halo DLC,
Yeah.
Right.
but you
Right.
can't.
No.
So
No, because I even ran into a random guy in chat who was saying that, for the Xbox players, they should have at least give the Xbox players that.
Yeah.
Because it is an Xbox,
yeah,
game and that sort of thing. And so even some of the randoms were just like, Xbox should have ended up with that. So there you go.
yeah. Well, they're definitely making some money off this game now, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have more to talk about that when we get into the news section.
What enemies do you guys like playing against? Do you like the Terminids, the bugs, or do you like the automaton robot guys? Or have you tried the other ones, the Illuminates, or whatever they're called, the zombie ones?
I
don't
think I
like
like
them.
the bugs the most, just because
Yeah.
it reminds me of Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that to me just has that vibe, and that's what this game is basically. This is a ripoff of Starship Troopers,
Right.
but
The robot guys are hard. I mean,
Yeah.
me and Boomer played on a couple of those, and they have these guys, and I can't remember what the hell they're called. But they shoot flames at you, and they've got these big like shields in front of them, and oh my god, they're a pain in the ass. So didn't like this, but I like the bugs much better.
okay. Anything to add? I mean, there's a lot within this game, in terms of upgrading your weapons, that kind of thing, and I still am not fully like. I'm sure there's some tips Mark probably should like throw out to the community for those of us that
Right.
are new. Armor upgrades, weapon upgrades. What do you recommend?
Well, there's 3 armor sets, and it's all a trade-off. So you've got light armor, so that gives you more mobility. Your stamina doesn't run out as quick, but obviously it's less armor. There's medium, which I use, which has got a mix of both mobility and protection. Then you got heavy armor, which uses a lot of stamina. You're a lot slower, but it can take more hits. So it's just a trade-off with the armor. You can't really upgrade armor as such. They have introduced recently weapon upgrading, so you can level up your weapons individually, like you can on Call of
Okay.
Duty and stuff. So if you use a certain weapon, that weapon will get its own XP, and you can get unlocks for that.
Oh, I did not know that.
So you
Okay.
can get like different scopes, you can get different magazines, attachments. So that's quite a new
Ah.
thing. That wasn't there the last time I played it. I've not played it for months, so that's new for me as well. Stratagems, that's all down to personal preference, but that's where you get your requisition slips in game, and you go in your ship. You go to the counter thing, and you can buy the different stratagems with your requisition slips, so you can get your barrages, your eagle strikes, all them different
Napalm.
things. Yeah, napalm. Yeah.
Napalm. Okay.
So,
And those are one-time use things, correct? So you use them and they're gone, and then you need to buy them again.
no.
No?
Once you bought it, you've got access to that stratagem on any
Oh,
mission you
okay.
want. You've got it permanently. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
For some reason, was thinking they were like a one-time use thing, so I was never using
No.
them.
Right.
Oh.
No. Once you bought it, that's it. You've got that in your arsenal.
Okay.
So if you go back to that thing in your ship, you'll see a green tick on the description of that stratagem, because you've got that permanently now. You can use that in any mission you want.
Okay. All right.
There are some weapons are better than others for the bugs, and then the robot guys. So the bugs, you're best with a shotgun, and preferably one what does fire damage. Whereas a robot's are better with like a more of a long range assault rifle with exploding rounds, something like that. But yeah, it's all down to personal choice as well. What you feel comfortable using.
Okay. All right.
I have a tip,
Yes.
believe it or not. I found out last night when we were playing, if you hold X down on your controller on Xbox, you can toggle your flashlight off, or you can toggle where it's on permanently.
Ah.
And I think you can even change like the firepower of the gun. Anyway, so that's something if you want to check
Interesting.
into it.
All
Yeah.
right. Hold X down,
Hold X down.
or that would be the square button, I think, on the PlayStation
Probably.
controller.
Right.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming it's probably the same for that too. But
And I saw a video the other day where a guy went opened a radial menu and he could drop things like he can drop a weapon or he dropped some samples. I didn't even know you could do that. I don't know how to do that on PC. So
Yeah, I do know. Like I picked up the health pack, the health backpack pack. Whatever you
yeah,
want to call it, and then I dropped it so Chris could pick it up.
yeah.
So, all right, we may have to play some today. Just saying. Anything else in this game before we switch to the next game? Okay. And you're wondering what the next game is. I'm still playing a ton of Ready or Not. So I love this game. So last night I played till about 1:00 in the morning, trying to get through a mission where I was not this mission. This is cleaning out a diner. I was cleaning out an apartment floor, and there are so many ways it can go wrong, and everything just falls apart in a nanosecond. And multiple times I was like at the cusp of beating it, and in fact I had pretty much done everything. I just needed to go find one more weapons cache on the level I was in, and I totally forgot to check the door. And I opened the door and I killed myself because it had been booby trapped. And I had been doing it the entire game. So, again, if you want a Rainbow Six Siege or Vegas 2, really Vegas 2 terrorist hunt kind of vibe, that's what this game gives you in spades. But it is all about being a SWAT member. So you're really, the ultimate goal is arresting people without killing them. And they will definitely do their darndest to make that difficult on you. I had a situation of we came into a room. There were 3 suspects in the room. All of them went down to their knees, dropped their weapons, and were cooperating, and we started cuffing. I did not cuff the guy in front of me. I was waiting for the other 2. I was just kind of covering. And I looked left with, in game, come back to the right, and he's picking the gun up and starts shooting at me, and I had to take him out. But it's just those little things where it's like, just like in real life, where some people will, even though they have been defeated in quotes, they might do that last minute gasp of like, oh, I can maybe make out of this, and it's just good. It's good. Very much enjoying it. Highly recommend. Ready or Not. It's good. It's on the Xbox. It's on PC. It's on, I believe, PlayStation as well. It does crossplay. So just remember, it's not going to be a speed thing. You're not going to be able to go running into rooms. John Mouse and I learned that the hard way. In fact, the map they're showing right now, this was the map that John learned the hard way on. Every time we walked in, he thought he could just go in kind of Call of Duty style, and it was like within seconds. Nope, I'm dead. Nope, I'm dead. Nope, I'm dead. So anyway, all right. What do we do from here? I suppose we don't have a quiz this week because Mr. Matthew is not with us. He is enjoying some family time. So we'll just dive into the news. What say ye?
Okie dokie. Let's do it.
Here is the fucking news.
I got you, Mark. All right, Mark, this is all your fault because you're in the UK.
Yep.
Steam has added age verification in advance of the UK Online Safety Act. So the restriction seemingly went into effect on Friday after social media users spotted references to the requirement on Steam's FAQ. Thankfully, the process to verify your age is straightforward. UK users need only to add a credit card to their account, and those who already have one registered will face no restrictions. The age verification requirement comes ahead of the enforcement of a new Online Safety Act in the UK, which makes online platforms responsible for their users' safety. Platforms will be required to prevent children from accessing harmful and age-inappropriate content and provide parents and children with clear and accessible ways to report problems. So, I mean, I don't necessarily have an issue with the age verification idea. I
Right.
will say this, though. Having to put my credit card online, that is problematic.
Another issue is a lot of people in the UK don't have a credit card or don't want a credit card or can't get a credit card. If
Yeah.
you've got a poor credit rating over here, or if you're on an IVA or you've got bad credit report, you ain't getting a credit card. So how are they going to access the stuff what they want to access on Steam? So
Yeah,
that
no.
might be an issue.
I mean,
I actually got my email from Xbox earlier this week about the verification as well. And I've got till 2026 to submit mine to access certain games and content and messages. And that's using a third-party website called Yoti.
okay.
And that does use facial ID and all this crap. So I don't know. There's a lot of problems with this online Safety Act. A lot of impact on foreign companies, particularly in America.
Right.
I know JD Vance is kicking off big time about it. It's affecting a lot of different organisations because the UK threatens to fine them with 10% of their global money they've got, which for a company like Steam and that, it's fucking millions, isn't it? It's billions.
Oh,
So,
yeah, you're talking billions at that point.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's causing a right stink.
And I'll be fair, on the flip side of the coin, I get the need for
Yeah.
protecting this kind of content and keeping kids away from adult content and
Absolutely, yeah.
potential Roblox is a whole nother mess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, have you heard about the guy who reported the online predators? He got banned.
Yeah.
He schlepped. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So
Yeah, that's another story.
I think what we're going to see is some early growing pains as we try and figure out how best to do this. I do like the notion, and I hate to say it this way, of like having some kind of ID site that you were talking about, like this Yoti site that might be a little.
You just
less
got to make
intrusive.
sure, yeah, it's got good security, doesn't breach data rules, because that's the biggest problem. Is if that site gets hacked,
Right.
everyone's fucked.
Right.
They've got
Right.
all your information, your facial ID, everything. So yeah, but apparently I did a little bit of research in fact Yoti, and it is an international system, and it has been going for a while. It does have a decent rep, so
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah,
I guess more
the
to
biggest
come.
thing in the UK, what I've mentioned before is it's not the protecting the kids side of it. They've snuck in other things, censorship,
Oh,
freedom of speech things on social media, and that's the bit what people in the UK are pissed at. So it flags certain keywords, and if you mention certain topics, then you get flagged, and it's nothing to do with the kids in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's two. It's a double-edged sword. Is this act? Yeah, if you look into it online, it's a
Okay.
hot potato and a bit of a farce, to be honest.
Oh, well, Boomer in the chat made a comment. There has to be a better way than a credit card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as you rightly cited, Mark, the credit card is problematic on multiple fronts. One,
Well, my son doesn't even have a credit card, so
Right.
and
That's-
he uses
that's-
Steam all the time. So
yeah.
how's he going to access it?
exactly. That's the first hurdle. And then the other hurdle to it is just, the more places we put credit card information, which,
Yeah,
that's a prime target again for
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If someone gets into your account, they
yeah.
can just yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and and this is the hard part is, I know these companies don't want your credit card information to get hacked, and when it does get hacked, the problem is the ramifications of that fall back on you. You have to deal with your credit card company. You have to deal with any financial fallout that happens from that, and
Right.
their comeuppance is not they're going to cover your losses. It's, oh, well, we'll give you a free credit checking software for, 2 years free.
Right.
So this way, if you ever get hacked again, you'll know. It's like, well, yeah, but how does that help me with what happened? So,
Right.
Anyway. All right. Let's move on to something brighter and cheerier, shall we? Microsoft is set to bring cloud game streaming to its lower tiers of Xbox Game Pass. And this actually is going to tie into something I meant to talk about when we were talking about games that we were playing. I will insert that into this conversation, but we'll go through the news story real fast. So starting today, users enrolled in the Xbox Insider program will be able to test Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta, which makes game streaming available to those subscribed to Xbox Game Pass Core and Standard tiers. Currently, outside of the test, the ability to stream games via the cloud is only available to subscribers of the highest Ultimate tier for Game Pass. In addition, the Xbox Insiders subscribed to Game Pass Core or Standard will for the first time be able to stream PC versions of select titles. And the move comes days after Xbox hinted that a more affordable Xbox Cloud Gaming service could be in the works. I love the cloud streaming, and the example of that I will give you, and why I love it, is that I used it to play the Rogue Prince of Persia. And I did that actually just before we came on the show. This is why it's literally hot off the press in terms of something I played. Side-scrolling Prince of Persia game. It is kind of like a Castlevania type game where you're scrolling through a map and you're going to backtrack a little bit here and there. Cell-shaded kind of graphical styling to it, which I like. Plays well enough. It's not something that's going to be like my game of the year. But what I did like.
Is it a roguelike version of it? Or? That's the name of that's the whole idea of a title, isn't it? It's like Prince of Persia, but a rogue type.
Yeah, but it's not really a roguelike though, because
all right.
Well,
okay.
I take that back. Yes, when you die, you go all the way to the start. But there are different warp areas that you'll be able to kind of warp ahead to.
Right,
so
okay.
all the enemies
Yeah.
will reappear, but you can kind of get yourself back to kind of where you were last at or closer to it.
Because we do own Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown from
Yes.
Ubisoft.
Maybe
And
one of
that's
these days
really
I'll
good.
Play that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty decent.
Yeah. So I mean, so far I'm liking this. It's not bad, and I played it using the cloud streaming, and in fact that's become my new go-to way when I see a game, especially on Game Pass, because I know it'll be cloud stream available, that I want to check out. I did also check out Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Right.
And that took me all of 5 minutes to realize I hate this game. And it's not because it's a bad game, but it absolutely is an Elden Ring-esque game
Yeah,
where
it's
you
a Souls
die,
game,
you
yeah.
lose everything,
Yeah.
and you fight gigantic enemy monsters that are hideous looking, and they kill you with 1 or 3 strikes. And yeah, so, but I did that through Game Pass Cloud Stream as well. Maybe it would have been better, maybe a little bit more responsive had I not done it that way. I don't know, but it felt fine in my playthrough, that I wasn't overly concerned about it. And it allowed me to play some games, try them out without having to download them and deal with all of that component to it. And so I will say this, and it does sync your saves up. So if you're playing via cloud streaming and then you download the game because you do want to play it further and you want it on your actual hard drive, well, it syncs up right to where you left off. So you're not losing anything. You're not having to restart. So it's a really well thought out system, and it seems like they are leaning into it even more. Do either one of you ever use the cloud streaming to test games?
I
Now and
actually
again,
do,
yeah. When I was
Google
playing,
actually had to make room to download the damn things. So
Yeah.
yeah, when were playing the Precinct, which that's the game I want to finish. I was curious about that police simulator, and I'd used that on cloud gaming,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I didn't download it because I
Yeah.
didn't really like it. But yeah,
Yeah, Police Simulator. The idea of it was exciting for me at first.
Yeah. it just looks
but-
like a PS2 game though to me. It's
Well,
it
and
looked really
also
old.
just the action is not there.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
So you're playing a ticket made for the most part, most of that game. Okay. Even more exciting news: Helldivers 2 player count spikes massively following the Xbox Series X and S launch. So there's been a lot of curiosity surrounding Helldivers 2 release on the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S over the past few weeks, and that seems to have translated to great sales in the first 24 hours on the Microsoft platform. Now, Microsoft does not reveal sales numbers. Sony does. I don't know that they have yet, but Helldivers fans have been pointing out how the game's player count spiked to over 300,000 active players at once. And basically that was all more or less being thought of as it was due to Xbox player counts up, raising the floor. Now, the caveat here is not all of those 300,000 plus players are coming from Xbox. They're coming from Xbox by any means. So there's the Steam version of Helldivers 2 that also increased to a daily peak of around 50,000, achieving a peak of 100,000 yesterday when this article came out. So they're adding into that number. But still, that's a healthy bump for PlayStation. They have to be happy with this because those are hard sales, obviously. They don't have a demo. They don't have... it's not a free version. It's not Game Pass. So Sony has to be quite pleased with this. And I think this now then clears the pathway for Sony to say, okay, well, what else can we put out on the Xbox platform and see if we can't make more money?
Right. At least
Yeah.
I hope.
It's the beginning of the end, people. The console wars are really, truly coming to an end. And okay, I know they're never going to really come to an end. We're always going to have the console wars, but platform agnostic games, I think, are going to go the way of the dodo bird.
Right.
So, and speaking of another cross-platform game that people never thought would happen, Gears of War Reloaded topped 1 million players in 3 days, according to Xbox Game Studios. The game surpassed 1 million players in 3 days. So now that's a little bit of sticky math, if you ask me, because we don't know where how much of that's coming from PlayStation 5, because this did come out onto Game Pass as well. So
and
how
also those who had already bought the Ultimate one, what came out, God knows when, get this for nothing.
Right.
So
right. So are
Right.
they just jumping on? I have to think there is a good healthy amount of PlayStation 5 users that are picked up the game for sure. But again, this is one of those where the math may be a little mysterious. Anyway, that's it for the news. There wasn't a lot going on. We're kind of in that moment. We're post Gamescom. The holiday releases are upon us now. So I think everybody's just getting back into playing games, which that's exciting for me.
Right.
Kim,
I'm all for that.
let's talk about
Yes.
some new releases.
Alrighty, yeah. Well, there's a few this week because we're rolling into September as we speak. So, for your game, the 1st of September, which is right around the corner, we have Rogue Labyrinth for the PC on September 1st, Metal Eden for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on September 2nd. Other Skin, I don't know, I don't make up the names. Other Skin for the PC on September 2nd. Guess it could have been called worse, but well, gods. Demon School for the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch and PC, September 3rd. Adventure of Samsara for the PC, September 4th. Hell is Us, it probably is, for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC on September 4th. Here's one some of you are going to be looking forward to, I'm sure, and that is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Order of the Giants DLC for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on September 4th. Jet Runner for the PC also on September 4th. Moro's Protocol for the PC on September 4th as well. Here's another big one that I didn't realize was right around the corner. But Hollow Knight Silksong, it is a thing, and it's going to be out for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and Switch 2 on September 4th. Chronos: The New Dawn for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC on September 5th. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, PS5, Switch, and PC on September 5th. NBA 2K26 for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, Switch 2, and PC on September 5th. And those are your new releases.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this feels like, we're into the onslaught of games. I totally forgot about the Indiana Jones DLC was actually coming out on September 5th, so that had, or 4th. That has me kind of excited. Is that a game, by
Right.
the way, you still have to finish, Mark?
I finished it. I did well. I finished Avowed, Atomfall, Indiana Jones, and Starfield. So I'm happy with them.
All right.
Oh, well, look at that.
Hell is Us. I want to say, isn't that a Vietnam game?
Could
I
be.
want to say it's I want to say it's a Vietnam shooter. Quasi curious about that. And Chronos, that was the big one out of Gamescom. Everybody was talking about that. That is going to be very horror themed.
Apparently, there's a lot of cats in it. That's just something I saw on Twitter somewhere. I'll never know because I'll never play it, but,
Lewis just chimed in. Expedition 33. Yeah, I'm not finishing that.
No, I'm not.
I bounced off of it, unfortunately. And so many people have loved that game, and it probably deserves to be finished. I just could not get into it. And I have heard Steve
I found
Condor
the
actually was
combat
talking to me about it.
repetitive. Yeah.
He was saying the first hours of that game don't do it any service, and you really have to stick with it. So maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. All right. If you have Helldivers 2, come hang out with us because we're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays when available to play some Helldivers 2s right now. That has become our multiplayer shooter game of choice. So tune in 8:30-ish in the UK. Usually about 1 hour is what we'll throw into it, and it's really because it's my lunch hour. 3:30 on the Eastern Front, 12:30 on the Pacific Front, and if you happen to be in the Central Time Zone, where Kim is, it's 2:30. We do a double Fatal Fridays, so 2 different sessions on Friday. One is at 8 p.m. in the Central Time Zone, Kim likely hosting that. One also at 8 p.m. in the UK, Kim not likely hosting that. But you never know. That might be Mark. That might be Chris. That might be Kim. Usually not me on Fridays. I'll be honest. The work thing gets in the way.
Right.
What else? We're kind of at that point. We're going to do some shout outs to the chat. Thank you for everybody that kind of hung in there because we had the hiccups with the streaming. Blame Virgin Media and their poorly designed hardware. Or they're trying to age restrict Mark. One of the two. Not sure.
That's gotta
Let's do some shout outs. Let's start with Mark.
I just want to shout everybody and apologise for my internet again.
As you should.
Dropping frames. So yeah.
It's totally your fault.
Yeah, it caused a bit of an issue at the start of the podcast, so apologies for that. I want to shout out all the new returning Helldivers, Super Earth, and all that. So yeah, that's been really good fun. And also to my son Jay, he's saying goodbye to his testicles tomorrow. He goes in for the snip. Well, they're not actually taking his testicles out.
Yeah, I was going to say he's
But
not
he's having a
losing
snip.
his testicles.
Yeah, he's not a dog.
It's the
but
connection.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
connection.
we got him a card, and we gave him a card today, which he didn't expect. And it says something about, I can't remember what it said. It says same junk, just no spunk, and it had the picture of the eggplant on the front. So yeah, so we got him a card, and he was annoyed and happy at the same time.
Mark, did you get the snip?
No, I said to him, he's a braver man than me. I never did it. I never went for it.
So
yeah, I
I did get a vasectomy, so I can speak from experience. So it's a weird, again, another outpatient procedure. They don't put you
Yeah.
under for this one at all.
No.
The worst part about it is getting that Novocaine shot, because it
Yeah.
feels like burning fire is injected into your testicles. You're like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And so, yeah, you get through that. Then it just becomes an odd situation of you have a doctor and likely, nurse practitioner assistant with him at the end of the table. You're sitting there with your legs up in the air. They've got, something kind of covering you over, and they're just looking at your junk, and they're working away, and you're like,
yeah.
I think I feel something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Feel a
good,
bit of tugging.
yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
tugging here and there, and then they're done, and it's like, okay, put some ice
Yeah.
on it, and you're done. You're off.
Yeah, 9:30 tomorrow morning. He's a bit worried as well that he won't be down drive or anything. So
It
yeah,
is.
I know
they
you
do
can't lift
recommend-
anything, can you?
Yeah, I think they recommend you not try to drive because you are pretty sore
Yeah.
down there for a day or so.
Yeah.
It doesn't really
Yeah.
put you down that long, but
Yeah,
there will be, and there will be no fooling around for a little while. That's for sure.
yeah.
Do we need to give Jay a new female name though, since he's lost his manhood? That might be something with maybe call
Yeah.
him Jay Menina or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to
Jasmine.
think that through.
Yeah.
All right.
Over to Kim.
Alrighty, I'm gonna shout out our chatters. Corzon actually just showed up.
I know he
So,
shows up right for the end. Corazon, we're sorry.
Right? Corzon, Playing Skills, and Boomer were all in the chat today. So thanks guys for dropping in. Shout out to you guys as always, because it's always fun to get on here. I could be having like the worst frickin' day ever, and I come on here and I feel better. So thanks for that. Hopefully everybody has a good week this week. Hopefully we'll kill some more bugs or automatons or whatever the hell it is we decide to drop in. I'll try not to drop the pod on myself, because I did that at least twice yesterday, maybe 3 times. Because I dropped the guard dog and I dropped the stalwart gun, and right in about the same vicinity. And for some odd reason, when I went up to pick up the whichever one dropped first, then the other one came down and nailed me right in the head. So,
Kim, now, honestly, Chris told you this was like his number one tip was don't let the drop pod or the
right,
the escape vehicle land on you.
right.
Okay.
Well,
Just making sure we
sometimes
did
it
cover
might
this,
as well-
Kim. This was basic training
You
101.
You did.
It was funny. It was funny. Last night, I brought a drop pod in with a weapon, and Boomer run across, and the drop pod went straight onto him and killed him. So
Right.
yeah, it's funny.
But sometimes it's not even our fault.
Yeah, like
Mine
it happened to me today. I've dropped one on myself by accident.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
you
It's-
know,
I guess
it's
Boomer
always
says I
fun.
think twice.
yeah, I have not dropped anything on myself yet. I have been shot by a few of our community because there is
Yeah.
friendly fire. I also
Yeah.
have shot. I know for sure I've killed Kim and Mark, both
Yeah.
of you.
Yep.
But you both realized
Well-
you ran right in front of my shooting. So
Yeah, but the other thing is, like, when you put down a sentry turret, or even if you got the rover what flies above you,
right.
they are indiscriminate. They will just aim at a bug,
Yep.
and if you're between that bug and that turret, you're fucking toast. It doesn't care. It doesn't discriminate if you're good or bad. It just mows you down, and that's happened quite a lot. But it's just all part of fun. The thing with Helldivers is if you team kill, you just go, oops, sorry, and you move on.
Right.
Because that's Helldivers.
Right.
There's no animosity. There's no, oh, you bastard, and game raging and all that lot. It's just part of the game. You just say, oh, yeah, sorry about that. Move on.
By the way, Corazon in the
yeah,
chat
good.
said he was stomped by one of his teammates' mechs. So it does happen.
Right.
I've got 5 more levels to get the mech.
Okay.
I'm on level 20 now, and you get that at 25.
That's
I've
something
just
I'm
unlocked
definitely
the rail
striving
gun.
for. I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
the mech.
Yeah, the exosuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can even get a
Exo-
Jeep as well. There's like a Jeep buggy thing you can get.
Oh, really?
So you
Yeah.
can, so you can traverse the map a lot easier and
Or
quicker,
run people over.
which would be good
It
for
only
mopping
takes
up
up
all.
drive.
Yeah.
Let me drive.
Yeah.
Let me drive.
We all want to die, But But anyway, so hopefully we'll get some more of that in this week. I'm sure we will. Other than that, over to Tank Top.
Okay, well, I've got like an important announcement. I will save that. So the shatters, hang tight. First of all, the secondarily important, football literally is around the corner for real season games. I'm pouring one out for you, Lewis. The Cowboys traded away Micah Parsons this past week. It's a big deal. Honestly, I'm kind of over it, though. I'm tired of listening to the media talking about it because that's all they've talked about for the past 3 days. But yeah, so Jerry Jones strikes again. Sorry, Lewis. Kim, you and I on Friday, I don't think we're talking. I think we will be sworn enemies on Friday. The Chiefs and the Chargers have their first game of the season in São Paulo, Brazil. So that will be an event. Apparently, it's being streamed on YouTube free, which is an interesting move.
Good, because I don't have YouTube TV yet, so I have to figure out where the hell I'm going to watch my football.
Yeah, so it'll be on YouTube, not YouTube TV, which was a weird thing to me because I'm like, well, why wouldn't you have it on YouTube TV? But they need to be able to make it free for everybody, so they put it on YouTube. I'm sure that will be their YouTube TV quote unquote crew moving forward. But yeah, so that is something to look forward to. Vegas Part 2 coming in 2026. So yesterday, as Robin was extremely intoxicated talking to me while he was at Mike Chin's birthday party, I then talked with Pete, I talked with Mike, I talked with Marshy, as well as Robin, and we all collectively agreed we need to get back to Vegas. This is an open invite for our community. So anybody, if anybody's interested, we're starting to just kind of plot things out now. Nothing concrete yet, but probably looking April, May timeframe, 2026. We'll do another trip out to Vegas. I'm almost positive we'll go back to the racetrack. I cannot see us not doing that. Likely we'll be shooting guns again, because again, that was a blast. But we'll figure a few more things to be able to throw into the mix. Last time we went, we actually were able to go to a Stanley Cup hockey game. I don't know that will be in the cards just because you never know who's making it to the Stanley Cup. But it will be a blast. We will have fun. So start thinking about it. If this is something you think you want to partake in, again, we did, we blocked off a number of rooms. We shared rooms, so there was shared costs. We kept things as reasonable as possible, and it'll be a good time. So think about that. Laying the groundwork now. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're done. We're going to call it a show. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for getting through the hiccup of the early start. Again, thank Virgin Media for that. And we will be back next week.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.